Welcome to the T-Level Science Core Assessment Employer Set Project, Task 2, Planner Project Task Overview. In this presentation, we will guide you through the details and key considerations for Task 2. Please remember that the information provided here is based on data available as of September 23 and may not reflect future changes to guidance documents. Always refer to the most up-to-date guidance. Task 2 is the researcher strategy task and it plays a crucial role in the ESP. Let's delve into specifics. Task 2 requires students to use their literature review from Task 1 to produce a plan to investigate an issue as described in the brief. Each occupational specialism will have their own specific issue. They will need to consider the types of literature available and the suitability of each source to determine the most suitable method for the problem. Students are required to work independently under supervised conditions. Students must complete this task within 3 hours and manage how they will spend their time using the Task 2 guidance. They will be given an additional 30 minutes to complete the project diary, which will facilitate the completion of Task 6. Students will need access to the project brief, the NCFE provided literature database, Appendix 1 in the project brief, literature review from Task 1, project diary, risk assessment form template, risk matrix, and any other resources stated in the provider guide for each specific assessment series. The evidence requirement for this task is project plan and any other evidence stated in the provider guide for each specific assessment series. Understanding how Task 1 fits into the project is essential. So for Task 1, this research will be the foundation for creating the student's project plan. Importantly, any risks the students identify in literature must be included in the risk assessment. Task 2 sets the stage for the project's risk management. For Task 4, the project plan will serve as the foundation for the methods section and provide insights into the considerations and limitations discussed in the poster. And Task 6 revolves around maintaining a good project diary. These notes will be key for successful reflective evaluation. A well-maintained project diary enables students to reflect on their progress and learning effectively. Task 2 offers an opportunity to demonstrate various core skills, including project management, researching, working with others, creativity and innovation, communication, and reflective evaluation. To demonstrate these core skills in this type of assessment, students should link to the previous task, refer to the research selected in Task 1 to justify their planning and explain how it's informed in the planning of their project. Consider timescales to ensure that they include appropriate timescales for their projects and to refer to any economic constraints of the project. Take care when completing the risk assessment. When carrying out the risk assessment, students should make sure that risks are correctly prioritised using any guidance given. Students should identify hazards and potential harm. So they should list all potential hazards related to the task, determine who might be harmed by these hazards. They should evaluate the risks and precautions, assess the likelihood and consequences of each hazard, use a risk matrix to calculate the total risk level, and decide on necessary precautions to mitigate risks. Students should record findings and implement control measures. So they should document each stage of the assessment using a provided template, include hazard descriptions, potential harm, likelihood and severity, specify controlled measures to reduce risks and reassess risks after implementing control measures. Students should review and update, so regularly review the risk assessment, identify and include new hazards or control measures if necessary. And students should maintain professional language, write in a formal professional tone, use proper grammar, spelling and punctuation, and ensure technical language is accurate and error-free. And remember to use the provided, perform and practice risk assessments for proficiency. Students should be specific when referring to data collection to ensure that a specific method is included on how that data is to be collected. And finally, students should reflect, include notes in their project diary so they can complete the reflective evaluation task. So now we're going to explore how to maximise student success. So we're going to use the Autumn 22 Grade A exemplar. The examiner commentary from the task to highlight key areas that can maximise success, and alongside the descriptors for band marking criteria awarded for each assessment objective. Using this as an example process, you should be able to apply that to the other exemplar and give a way to sort of measure student achievement. So let's explore this A grade student. So the chief examiner's commentary on the student work can be summarised and cross-referenced with the grading bands. So firstly, we have comprehensive project planning. So this links to assessment objective 1, and there's clear evidence of band 4 criteria. The project plan had a clear aim and aligned with the project brief. It included a logical sequence of steps, economically viable and achievable within the given time frame. It had resource requirements, equipment lists, monitoring and control variables were well addressed. There were no irrelevant steps ensuring alignment with the project aims. In regards to effective risk assessment, the student evidenced sort of band 2 criteria for AO2. It scored band 2, adequately covering various risks and included some mitigation details. It demonstrated an understanding of risk hierarchy but lacked prioritisation. In regards to data evaluation and collection, so this is the AO5, and we can see criteria are linked to band 4 in the chief examiner commentary. So the student evaluated the types of data required and their collection mechanisms. The evaluation effectively addressed data relevance and its collection's alignment with the project's practical investigation needs, and the data provided were sufficiently broad in the right quantity and relevant to meet the project's aims. And finally, there was clear evidence of outstanding written communication, evidencing that band 4 criteria for AO4. The project plan and risk assessment were communicated with excellent use of English, grammar, spelling, punctuation, and a logical structure were consistently evident. The student maintained an appropriate professional tone, effective use of scientific and technical terminology with no errors contributing to the outstanding quality of written communication. So now let's explore the key themes in Task 2 overall from the Science Core ESP. So some students found this section challenging, especially if they were familiar with staining and cell counting methods. Lacking of familiarity with these methods affected students' ability to provide accurate descriptions. Less able students struggle to provide variables that are needed within their project plans. Some low scoring plans were not achievable or viable. Low scoring plans did not make clear reference to sources selected in the literature review. Inappropriate timescales or not considering economic constraints was also evidenced. Common errors involved providing a limited description of the data to be collected. Only some students went beyond suggesting white blood cell count, offering additional data like medical history, lifestyle, age and gender. Students generally performed well in their risk assessment tasks. The marks were limited for those who failed to prioritise identified risks effectively. Some students listed generic risks and vague approaches to their management, resulting in fewer marks. Most students demonstrated strong performance in English, mathematics, and digital skills. Some students struggled due to lack of technical terminology evident within their risk assessment. So in summary, Task 2 of the Science Core ESP underscores the importance of highlighting the essential connection between the research conducted in Task 1 and its influence on project planning. Explain how the chosen research data informed the project structure and objectives. Emphasises the significance of setting appropriate timescales and taking economic constraints into account within the project plan. Discussing the impact of these factors on project feasibility. It stressed the importance of conducting a thorough risk assessment covering hazard identification, risk evaluation, precaution implementation, and regular review and updates. We encourage students to comprehensively identify all potential hazards associated with the project and assess who may be harmed by these hazards. And we promote the use of professional language, proper grammar and precise terminology in project documentation, including specific data collection methods. Thank you for watching, and we wish you success in the T-Level Science Core Assessment Employer Set project.